Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is going to be a very, I guess, informal video. But I will start off with one main thing, and that is James Wan has posted on Twitter today that Aquaman trailer will be shown at San Diego Comic-Con. That's right, it will be released at San Diego Comic-Con, and I don't think it's just San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sure it's going to release online at the same time. Like years before, Warner Brothers has been pretty much very good at releasing whatever content they have from San Diego Comic-Con, at least the past 2 or 3 years, with the exception of Aquaman. Though James Wan wasn't very comfortable releasing that because of previs and whatever, or effects that need to be done. But it seems like he's really confident now. He's excited, and we can't wait to see it. So it didn't release today, but that's fine. There's actual date now, as opposed to some bloggers have said it was like a couple of days from now. Apparently, that's not happening. But I think it's a good idea to make a big bang at San Diego Comic-Con. Aquaman is the movie coming out this year, and what a great platform to show that full trailer. Aquaman, I'm really excited. Really excited. It's gonna be like a 2 or 3 minute. It's gonna be a full trailer, no teasers, a full trailer. But then some people are like, hey, maybe we're gonna get a teaser, maybe this month. A small little teaser. James Wan did not reply to that, by the way, so we don't know if that's gonna happen. But for real, trailer is coming out. There's a date set. We just have to fall asleep right now and wake up in July. So if you're excited for Aquaman, it's coming out. But today I got into some things on Twitter, and I really wanted to talk about it. Like, I don't have really involved, but reading stuff from people who are getting involved in these conversations. So Mark Hughes decided to come out once again saying, calling the fans who are thinking the Snyder Cut exists or kind of crazy and stuff like that. He is a reporter from Forbes. He has been wrong before, especially like, what was that thing there was a while back where he said, oh, the Kryptonians have the other mother box, right? Well, that didn't come true. He also said that, Aquaman wasn't great, the screening, but a lot of people says, well, everybody else says it was good, so what's up with that? But he was in the Batman v Superman court, and he was like that for a long time. But then he kind of coming across like very, I wouldn't say Umberto-ish in terms of ego, but very trying to utilize his own perception of things and stating them as facts, I guess. But he starts off, and I'll just read the first one because this is what Jay Oliva actually responded to. So Mark Hughes says, I've tried to explain to fans a completed Snyder Cut doesn't exist. An initial cut was done with incomplete footage, missing pickups, no reshoots, missing VFX, etc. So it's impossible to release the Snyder Cut that doesn't exist. But that said, there's an alternative. And then before he gets into that, Jay Oliva already responds to that. Well, he responds to Mark Hughes, other than incomplete VFX and maybe some reshoots for hookups, everything was shot that was storyboarded. Zack isn't the kind of director who creates the film in the edit bay. It's all planned out meticulously from beginning to end. That's how MOS and BVS was done, and that is true. Actually, there weren't we haven't heard of any reshoots for those movies. Man of Steel, it just came out. Batman v Superman just came out. Like, there was nothing like how there was, their Suicide Squad's got reshoots. Even Wonder Woman had a few reshoots. All these other movies, the reshoots come out. Even Aquaman had some reshoots, but it wasn't prevalent. And I feel that Zack is the guy who's very meticulous, that he's like, I'm going to shoot everything that works perfectly as storyboard. I'm just going to shoot everything right here, right now. And some people even mentioned that Superman's role, right? Superman's role, if there were planned reshoots like how every production had planned reshoots, then why did he have a mustache? That means he intended not to come back at all. He didn't think there was anything needing more scenes from him. And we know now that they've reshot his own scenes. They've reshot scenes with him and Lois. They reshot scenes from the final battle. This got me hard, right? This got really tough. This was really tough because Jay Oliva says, every movie has scheduled reshoots. It's part of the post-production process. Some are more extensive than others. Some are because of technical problems with the footage, and others are creative reshoots for scenes that are reimagined or needed additional photography for clarity. And then Diego Salazar says, I see. Still a bit confused at Henry's reaction. Maybe he assumed that they weren't going to happen after that long. Anyway, thanks for the insights. So Jay responded, he probably was referring to the sequences he was in, since he wasn't in a majority of the film and probably didn't expect to be brought back for extensive reshoots, thus the mustache. And then our very own Aaron Slightly, John Aaron Garza, could one say that technically means Soups wasn't meant to be that involved with the final battle in the original cut, since there is a shot of the League on a bridge with the camera panning up behind the scenes? Of course, I responded to this. Well, there's that picture of them, the behind the scenes, that little video clip of him with the League, and there are even behind the scenes without the mustache. So that's the biggest dead giveaway. Mustache-less Henry Cavill, that's Zack Snyder shot. Mustache Henry Cavill, that's Joss Whedon shot. So, went on, Jay Oliva said this. No, he, as in Henry Cavill, was involved in that final battle. I drew a lot of Soups kicking ass. And I'm like, man, I knew it. No way Superman comes back, right? And he only lands like 4 punches. Right? Remember when he came back? I believe in truth. I'm also a fan of justice. Boom! Which was kind of cool, but it was shot weird because, it was easier to shoot in a way that they can fix the mustache, probably. He hits him once. He comes back, avoids him, hits him again in a weird pan back injustice-like video game moment. And then he goes and saves people, comes back, hits him again, then hits him one more time, then flings him. That's it. That's it. How do you go from a bombastic, high-energy, kinetic battles in Man of Steel, epic battle with Doomsday and with Batman in Batman v Superman, to what really becomes 4 punches, a throw, 1 cold breath, and 1 laser beam? Come on. And he was smiling the whole time. That was so weird. Like, how does that happen, right? I mean, that totally just, it takes away from some great moments there. And why did they do that? Why? I'll tell you why. He was probably angry looking, and they're like, oh my God, it's Superman. He's scary, man. He's scary for the kids. This kid's gonna get scared of me. We gotta make him smile. You guys pandered to all those trolls and haters who said he never smiled, which he did in Man of Steel, which he did in Batman v Superman, because you guys were blind. Right? You guys didn't see it. Colorblind too, because you guys thought those movies weren't colorful. But he had it. So it's unbelievable. I mean, Jay Oliva said it himself, what I've been thinking this whole time. I was like, no way they'd keep Superman back this whole time, and for him to return and to be very lackluster in the fight. Like, very lackluster. I get it, that you want to show he's super overpowered with 1 or 2 punches, but this is Steppenwolf, man. Steppenwolf. I'm going to be afraid of this guy. Zod could take this guy out. Zod could take this guy out. Even they talked about how Doomsday, even though, they could have took that from Wikipedia and stuff like that, but if it's true that he actually fought some kind of Doomsday, man, Zod Doomsday will wipe this guy this floor clean for this guy, man. He is a weakling. It's very, very, man, it's very sad. But, he goes on further and about how, remember, Jay Oliva said that 99% complete. Now, I knew what he meant back then. I knew that he meant that if anything, what's going to be released is what they're going to release if they ever finish the Snyder Cut and stuff. They release it, it's going to be 99% of that. So that 1% is like a reshoot, because most of the time Zack Snyder shoots pretty much everything, and maybe there's some pickups here and there, possibly not even involving the main characters, because all the actors and actresses were about to go do something else. They were trying to schedule hard. It was very hard to schedule. Ezra Miller was going to do that Fantastic Beasts, and all these other people were doing their other things. So it was very hard at scheduling. So that 1% was probably just little, maybe, I don't know, pickup shops, background scanning, landscape shots, whatever. It's stuff like that. And he had to explain himself, because Mark Hughes was like, "Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. You guys think the thing's 99% done? I don't think you think we think that. No, we know it's not done. All right? When we're saying hashtag release the Snyder Cut, we don't mean to release the Snyder Cut like it's already done. That's a title of a movement to say that Warner Brothers, we want you to finish it. We want you to finish it. We want you to put some money into it and work on it." And that's the deal, and I think he just tries to make it seem like all people are like crazy and stuff, that it does exist, and we know it exists, and we know it's not finished. So hopefully that's the end of that. And Jay Oliva also kind of is already up to that. I mean, he's part of the production team, so he knew what was going on with that, right? Of course, he can't say as Carlos Digital Bob Diggy 69, he says, "Thank you for confirming this. We have been discussing this exact thing as a possibility since last November. If you're allowed to disclose, in comparison to BVS, was this film about the same duration?" And he does say, "Sorry, I have no clue." Zach and the editors would know that answer, right? And he also goes into Danny Lund, replying to Danny Lund. Danny Lund says, "Who is going to fund it to complete the VFX? Unless Zach is using his own money to complete the VFX, his cut won't happen." So that is in detail to someone else who posted that little thing a while back, that Cruel and Unusual Films will foot the bill, and Warner Bros. Is going to make them foot the bill. And we have a lot of theories and tweets about that, or who's going to do it, or if there's any money involved and whatnot. Jay Oliva kind of put that to bed. He says, "It really depends on what shots are incomplete. VFX doesn't necessarily mean huge CG shots. It might be something as simple as wire removal or compositing. Of course, the money to finish the shots will have to come from somewhere." Then Fiona asks, "A solid source told me he doesn't need third-party money to finish the cut, so maybe Warner Brothers will invest in it." And then people are asking if they can donate or something like that. She said no. There's no fundraising for the cut. You can't donate money to finish it. Jay Oliva says, pretty much agrees to that. Says, "I'm pretty sure Warner Brother owns 100% of the film, so the funding to finish any VFX, etc., would have to come from them. I wouldn't trust anybody doing crowdfund to finish it, because those people don't own the footage or the film." So that explains right there that Warner Brothers will have to invest in it. They will have to actually foot the bill to make it complete. Now, this may sound like it's a bad thing, but it's really not, okay? Because if they are willing to foot the bill, that means they are investing. If there is any indication that this thing is actually being done, that means Warner Brothers has already invested in it, right? Because we could say, "Oh, it's being done," but then we've heard that it's a third party, someone's doing it for him, Zach's doing it on that own. That doesn't actually give us any better relief, because even though he finishes that, Warner Brothers didn't invest in it. So that means Warner Brothers still don't want us to see it, right? So even if he had finished in something like that, we would have to secretly go to his theater and beg him to watch the movie, right? So if they're making it, if they're actually editing it and doing some VFX or SFX, whatever, that means Warner Brothers is already invested. They're editing, they're helping, they gave him the go ahead. And like I said before, it's been silent. It's been silent. I mean, Warner Brothers has not come out and said it doesn't exist. Jay Oliva is not coming out and saying not to ask for it, right? Zack Snyder is not telling us to stop asking for it. We could be seeing tons and tons of photos and things about Fountainhead by now, but it's very rare and far between. We've got more Justice League stuff. Why? Just so we follow him on Vero? Is there any profit in that? I'm sure he has a lot of friends. I'm sure he has a lot of money. We're not looking at ads while we're on Vero, right? It's at a place where we appreciate art, appreciate friends and stuff like that. Why would he want to keep us on this thing that there's a Snyder Cut, right? I mean, why? Like, if it was a no, it would have been no. If Warner Brothers told him no, he would have stopped. But Warner Brothers hasn't said anything. Warner Brothers hasn't said anything. Zack Snyder hasn't said, hinting about that there's only positive stuff out there. Who's telling us no? Bloggers. These people who are like insiders. They probably are. Sources, These guys who run websites, Heroic Hollywood, Screen Rant. Although Stephen Colbert is pretty cool. Forbes, these people. Who's not saying it doesn't exist? The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, these larger firms that Warner Brothers would rather give them exclusive news on than the Wrap, the Heroic Hollywood, Forbes. Okay, it looks like they're trusting the Hollywood Reporter now to get those exclusives out. It looks like they're the only ones they're talking to. Umberto may be calling, maybe they're not picking up, and so he has to go down another channel, and they're like, just, can you send this guy away? Just tell him it doesn't exist. Gosh, so, I don't know. I'm just wondering. So I'm just looking at backwards here. I'm looking in from a different aspect and view. I believe it does exist. I believe it's actually being worked on. I won't tell you why I believe it, but I do believe it. And I think there could be reasons to be excited for pretty soon, I think. I don't know if it's going to be before San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if it's going to be at San Diego Comic or after. I don't know. That is totally out of my hands. I don't know. But I am excited and ecstatic, and I believe in it. And if it's any indication, it's that because silence is our best answer. And I don't mean AT&T Care, because I think that's automated. You could probably says, hey, AT&T Care, release the fart noise. And they'll probably say, thank you, we'll look into releasing the fart noise. I mean, I know you guys had asked them, and it comes out to an automatic generated responses. Thank you for replying and things like that. But, and if it's a real person, great. But AT&T, it's a communication firm. And so they always have those automated things. They're really good at scripting algorithms and stuff like that. But it's awesome to see that a tweet from AT&T is about a Time Warner merger. And then right below that, like the first lines and probably like hundreds of tweets after that was all hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Please, AT&T. That is so awesome. That just shows you how much people are really on here on Twitter and really want to see that happen. And this movement is huge. And I mean, they're not, hopefully you guys aren't saying negative things. You're saying please, you're saying it nicely. That's great. I don't see any reason why that's bad at all. I know Heroic Hollywood Heroic Gateway had mentioned that we should do something like another Change.org petition with release the Snyder Cut and say that whoever signs this will change to AT&T what was the other one, DirecTV or something. That's cool. If you guys, if that wants to be done, great. You know, that's also a movement, and get AT&T thinking. Of course, if AT&T is correct and the CEO is correct, he will leave that creative side off, hands off. But he is the boss of them all. So I'd say try whatever, try it, do it. You know, whatever makes the most noise. I condone it. You know, not like you need my permission anyway. I mean, I won't say anything bad about that. How's that? I won't say anything bad about that because I wouldn't. Yes, if it's in a positive light like that, no more mobs or anything and angry mobs and stuff like that. But I think this movements that we're having, especially done by Vinaldo 7 and Fiona Fukujiang, she has a new one, by the way. Let me see if I can pull that up. She has a new one called hashtag release the Snyder Cut tweet marathon, right? And I'll put it up right here. Over the next 4 days, we will be celebrating everything we love about the 4 DCEU films using the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. These events are a display of support for the universe we have and the original version of Justice League up until the arrival of San Diego Comic-Con. We will be celebrating these DC films on the following dates: Man of Steel, June 22nd, Batman v Superman, June 29, Suicide Squad, July 6th, and Wonder Woman, July 13th. So here's how to get involved. For the next 4 weeks, a few days before each of the dates shown, we will tweet out a poster with the details of the activity for that week. We are very excited because each week we'll be doing something different. What will stay the same is that we will ask you all to join us wherever you are in the world at the same time, and to use the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. At the heart of each event will be a desire to show Warner Brothers how much we want to see Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. We hope this is a positive and exciting experience for all, with a few surprises along the way. We have not forgotten. The fight goes on. This is coming from Fiona. She has arranged this. She has solid sources, and she does talk to Zack Snyder. So if anything, she's pretty much the head leader of this right now. But in any case, I think we're all in this together. And every little voice adds to that movement, adds to this, right? And you know, I just gotta talk about this right now. This is not just releasing a movie. Yeah, you're like, well, you know, yeah, okay. Maybe there are a lot of you who are just like, you just want to see the movie. You're curious. What's the Snyder Cut? What is that going to be like? Is it totally different? And it's totally different. I tell you what, it's totally different. For me, it's much deeper. You know, yeah, it's a movie. Sure, it's a different movie. Oh, yeah. And we could be really satisfied with that. But it's righting the wrongs, man. Zack Snyder is an artist. Zack Snyder is a person. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a friend. He's someone's uncle. He's someone's... I don't know if he's a grandpa. I don't really know. But he's someone's relative that you could have known. He's your uncle. He's your dad. You know, he's your brother. He's your son. He is, look at him as a person that's been cyberbullied by verifieds, man. Verifieds. How do they get verified? You're an asshole, so you're verified. Is that how it works? Verifieds, right? Bloggers, reviewers who instead of just insulting his work or actually just looking at his work, they got the gulls to go straight to him. To his saying he hates moms, he hates women and things like that, when we all know now that's not true. Even Amy Adams was heartbroken. She said that all the stuff they talk about, because he's a great, sweet director, he's a nice guy. These haters are just, this is cyberbullying at its fullest, at its grandest. Okay? You always wonder why all these kids are like, oh man, that's sad. That kid, took his own life because all these bullies were teasing him on Facebook. That's what you guys are doing. Do you realize that? That's what you guys are doing. That's what you guys are doing to all these directors. Not just Zack Snyder. Stephen DeKnight. Everybody. All these different directors. Oh, okay, even actors, even celebrities, right? They're just doing their job. Right? Yeah, these actors and actresses, they're just doing their job. But these directors, they put their heart and soul and their passion into their projects so they could see the light of day. For you, for the fans, it's just heartbreaking, And to me, this Snyder movement is not just about releasing the movie, right? Because if there's just one little bit, and it doesn't have to be the movie right away, just one little bit, just one little piece of info to show that Warner Brothers or the thing is being worked on. If there's one little piece of evidence that could convince these bloggers, these headliners, scoopers, these verifieds, these people who just take the time out of the day to hate on other people's passion when they could give a damn, right? If you don't give a damn, then shut up. If someone's passionate about it, then let them have it. Hey, I don't like something. I don't tell them they shouldn't believe in something. Do you tell a Christian or a Catholic, don't go to church? I mean, that's just ballsy and idiotic and bullying. Yeah, that's bullying. That's flat out bullying. You're a bully. Look at yourself in the mirror, paint it right over your forehead, bully. That's what you are. Troll, right? You think your mom would be proud of you? Okay? So it's terrible. And just one little piece of evidence is all we need. A picture, a current picture, or something to show that this movie is being worked on. Just showing that this movie is being worked on automatically equals to Warner Brothers has invested in it and approved it. Like Jay Oliva says, this is 100% a Warner Brothers film. If there's any work on it, then Warner Brothers has had to approve it. They have had to invest in it. Just that little bit can show everyone, tell everyone to be quiet, tell everyone to say that it doesn't exist, that it's not happening, that you guys are nuts, you guys are crazy. But for most importantly, it's a big win for Zack Snyder and his family, who have taken so much from these bullies. Bullies. I'm just going to call you bullies. That's all. That's the hate, the bullies, the despicable human beings you are who believe that you are protecting others. No, you're protecting your selfish selves, your own egos, right? That's the way I look at it. So I really hope something comes out real soon. That way we can continue on and be joyous for a man, for every director out there, because I think even Stephen DeKnight, Rian Johnson, Steven Spielberg, who else? Ridley Scott, a lot of people, every single director, it would be a win for them to show that, hey, they want to make something, they can make something, and it will come out. It's not corporate driven, it's not studio driven, it's director driven. And they can be proud of the material they put out. They can be proud of it. And that's something to be proud of, to get your own work out there. Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and believe that men are still good. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.